At the port of Long Beach, the world's supply shows up to meet American demand. It's an especially critical gateway for Chinese goods, with more than 60% of the port's imports coming from there. But the U.S.'s shifting tariff policies have thrown off the rhythm between the world's two biggest trading partners. Faced with tariffs going up, shippers rush to get their products into the U.S. from across the Pacific, leading to a surge of shipments from China. Then, tariffs of 145% were slapped on Chinese goods in April. Shippers slammed the brakes and cargo levels dropped. And that slowdown is still being felt here.
Two of the large terminals that we have here are within view of where we're standing, and they each have only one vessel. They each have a capability of having 3 container vessels at once. So if you were here in January or prior to April 2nd, you would have seen 3 vessels there at each one of these terminals.
But things are changing yet again. On May 12th, a 90-day truce was announced. U.S. tariffs dropped to 30% and China's to 10%. Now ports are bracing for another spike in arrivals as shippers race to move goods before that 90-day window shuts, with little idea of what tariffs may look like after that.
I do expect that we're going to have a surge of sorts because right now there's still a lot of uncertainty.
Ports and surrounding operations depend on complex systems balancing logistics, economics, and labor, and that requires predictability.
It's an older facility. This was built in 1942. We're in what's called the overweight corridor.
Few people know that better than Weston Labar, the chief strategy officer at Waterfront Logistics, just a few miles from the ports of Los Angeles and Long Beach. It's a company offering trucking and warehousing. Because of the tariff-beating shipment surge from a few months ago, Labar says goods are staying parked here for longer and at greater volumes than they're used to.
Because on a normal day, these products would be coming in that door and they'd be going out that door. Our business is built around product moving, which means that at any given time, we could have 1,000 people working for our company around the U.S., between truck drivers, between warehouse workers, yard workers. But when stuff's not moving, the company's still protected because we're being paid for storing things, but it's not really the optimal use of our business, and it impacts our abilities to maintain frontline workers. If there's no truck moves going in and out of the port, then guess what? You don't need as many truck drivers.
And even if the U.S. finally stabilized trade relations in a more enduring way than a temporary truce, workers in the logistics industry might have long since moved on.
What happens when it picks back up? We're not laying people off, but if we're not providing as many hours, do our truck drivers start driving Uber? Do our warehouse workers start working retail or DoorDash or something else, right? How do you build back that infrastructure quickly? Because it's not like at a drop of a hat, it just turns back on.
Around the port, the truce has fueled a sense of optimism that things will turn back on and that operations here will normalize again more permanently. But as of yet, no one knows when. And in a sector where timing is everything, the unknowns remain a heavy burden to bear.